As we're back live with Joe and Cody. What's going on, man?
Here we are. How are you?
I just saw this thing on my computer that says I can add a title to your name. So
Oh,
I don't know if you want something fancy on there.
yeah. Call me Cody.
You got Cody. I just didn't know if you wanted like a cooler title underneath there. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
We can go C-Dub.
How are you, man? How was the week?
So far, so good. Can't
Yeah.
complain too much. Yeah, you?
Yeah, the weekend was good. Was it what happened this weekend for you guys?
Um, well, I kind of cried most of the weekend after watching the Ducks.
Oh,
But
geez.
we
Yeah, it
don't need to.
was. Yeah,
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that much.
dude. That was
That was
shocking to me.
that
That
was
was
shocking to
shocking.
me as well. And it was the worst
Complete
part. Like I was
disaster.
uh telling Eli because he's been a brainwashed Ducks fan now as
Yeah,
well, and
yeah.
it was like, dude, we didn't even get one play, let alone like a drive or a quarter
Mhm.
to feel good about it. It was like a pick six right from the first play. Like, okay, well, this
Yeah.
this
It
is
started
gonna
off
hurt.
wrong and just continued.
It
Just
was bad.
continued. Oh, man, that was
Yeah.
really bad.
Otherwise,
I forgot about that.
yeah. Otherwise, the weekend was good. From don't know. I always sometimes I feel like my memory is so bad. Like I can't even really recall what we
I
did this
know. I'm
weekend.
the same. People are like, "Hey, what'd you do yesterday?" I'm like, "I have no idea." But,
Yeah.
um,
I was alive.
yeah, yeah,
How about
I
you?
made it. Good. Rory's team won their tournament, so that was good.
Oh, nice.
And so that was a fun one. Uh, so on negative news, the Packers lost, and not in similar fashion to the Ducks, but I'm like,
Yeah,
we were up 18 points
I
going into the
know.
half. Like unheard of to come back like
Yeah.
that and lose. So really upsetting to our family. That evening was not a good evening.
Yeah.
I forget how competitive Rory is and how much he cares about that stuff. He was like,
Uh-huh.
Christina's like, so what do we want to do? The game's over. And all of us are like, don't talk. Just don't
Yeah.
talk. Like,
We're
she's
just
like, oh, I
gonna
didn't know it was
sulk
that
here.
big of a deal. I was like, no, we're not doing anything fun. Like this was
Yes.
miserable. So yeah,
Oh,
that wasn't that fun.
no,
But
no.
yeah, we made it through, and now we've got what Seahawks and 49ers. I think I'm kind of
Yeah.
Seahawks Broncos guy right now.
Yeah. I'm
So
yeah, as a Duck fan, I'm pulling for the Chargers, and now that they're out, I'm pulling for the Broncos.
yeah,
Um, and then if they're out, then I don't know. There's not a team right now in
I
the
know,
NFL that is that dominant team that it's like, oh, I have to root against this team. Like
I
everybody that's
know,
in there right now is
I
like,
know.
I don't know.
I wouldn't
It's
mind
like,
any of them. I wanted the
yeah,
Jags. Like I was like, the Jags would be an underdog type of thing story a
right.
little bit, but that didn't happen. So
No.
yeah. So anyways, we are Jamaica, the house that I pitched last week
Yeah,
is pending, so that's good.
it worked.
Yeah, it worked. All the views, everyone came over and saw it. So that's good. That's moving
That's
along
awesome.
smoothly. And so we're happy
Yeah.
for that going on. And
Now that was a quick turnaround,
yes,
right?
yes, it was quick. These are some of the honestly like some of the best clients to have in the sense that, and not that you should just listen to your agent, but they just really took in advice, really had processed it well. And we worked together to kind of find the right price to get it sold fast, but still not rip themselves off. And so, yeah, it worked out really well and they're just really good. And they got the house set up and it looks staged. And even though they live in it. And so it just was kind of put
Perfect.
their best foot forward in the very beginning. And it didn't take long for people to see that. So,
That's great,
so
man.
yeah, like we say it all the time, but they listened and
Yeah.
worked together with us and it worked out well for them.
Nice.
So
Well,
yeah, so
congrats
there's
to them
that,
and you.
and then I wanted to see. So rates are like, I think, I think it's positive. Yes, they're not moving a ton, but I'm like,
Mhm.
it's like what 6% almost. Like,
Yeah,
are we
yeah,
close to
they're
that?
they're yeah, so on Thursday, Friday, I can't remember what day it was, when Trump announced and said, "Hey, I'm instructing my people," which is Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, to dump 200 billion into the mortgage-backed
Yeah,
securities market, um, there was a big reaction, and then it quickly kind of went back, but there was a quick reaction which did bring them down. It was kind of almost like an overnight,
yeah,
what it did, but it did bring the average down below 6. And then now we're back up to like, I think this morning when I looked, it was 6.07
Okay.
is the national average, but trending in the right direction. We've been, I mean, this year when I zoom out and I look at the last year, it's been a continual drop. And really over the last 3, 4 months, it's leveled out. So, we tend to see, and we've talked about it a bunch, we see this great news and then it goes up and then it stays there for a little bit and then it goes back down. It's like this constant. Well, now we're seeing that same thing, but it's like the ups and downs are much less drastic. So it almost feels like we've kind of hit this new little baseline here. We're sitting here hovering day to day. It changes a little bit, but overall, we're not seeing these 3, 4, 5 days in a row of
Yeah.
just bad, 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 which increases the rates by 1/4% in a week. And then it takes 3 weeks for them to drop back down. So,
Yeah, I was saying the same thing. It's like even the ups are not like big ups. The downs aren't big downs, but it's the ups are not big ups. And so, yeah,
yeah.
I think it's pretty good. And on that note, before we get into kind of what Trump's been doing, and we'll talk about more, we'll maybe go into more detail in the podcast about this because
Hmm.
we're limited on time here. But
Yeah.
um, with people that are in the midst of buying and they're kind of they're under contract with a house or getting under contract, are you suggesting, we've talked about this before, are you suggesting locking right now? Or are you suggesting kind of letting it drift a little bit? Or what's your personal thoughts? And I know every scenario is different, but to
Yeah.
me, I would say lock. Like, I think that rates are lower than they've been in a very long time. Like, yes, you could see a little bit lower
Sure.
if you waited, but you could also see
Yeah.
a little bit higher. Like, in my opinion, it's like, look, I think rates are pretty good. But what's your thoughts?
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I tend to like to float a little bit more.
Yeah.
Um, but that's not always the case just because depending on where we're at. So say you just got under contract today and we're looking at rates. Today it's opened up pretty positive. So if I were talking to you about it, first I always make it their choice and I just
Yeah. Yeah.
say,
For
"Hey, you
sure.
know what? Ultimately it's up to you. If you want to rely on me to be the one to do that." And because I have some people that are like, "Well, what would you do?"
Yeah.
And I'll break it down like, "Well, do you like to gamble? Do you like
Yeah.
to kind of play the game? Because if you do, I will walk you through that and we'll kind of play it. I keep an eye on it pretty tightly. So if it's up to me, sure, I'll ride this out for a little bit, If however, if today was a day that you got under contract and we're talking and it was bad, I'd probably say, yeah, we might want to lock this in because I don't know if tomorrow makes it even worse and then the
Yeah.
next day makes it worse. But if we start out better like we are today, that tells me that tomorrow, if it reverses and goes back tomorrow, we're essentially back to where we were, the day before.
For
So
sure.
net neutral, I guess you could say. So it's
Yeah.
not until you start to hit those 2 or 3, 4 days in a row of bad when it really is going to hurt you. So
Yeah.
long-winded answer, I ask the clients what they want to do, which then usually turns to, well, what would you do or
What
what
would you
would you
do? Yeah,
recommend?
exactly.
And then I just say, well, do you like to gamble? If so, here's what we can do. Here's what I do. I can send you updates every morning on what it looks like. If it looks like it's just getting worse, if you want, I can just lock it in before it starts to affect your rate. If things
Yeah.
start to improve, we'll ride that wave until we start to see some resistance and we can lock in before we start to see too much of a change. Because usually when the market changes enough, it's going to make an impact. But a lot of times, like from our side, our pricing, our rates and everything doesn't really change much throughout the day, even though the market is changing. I've
Yeah.
worked at other
Yeah.
companies where they will reprice throughout the day. So if there's a 25 basis point adjustment, you'd get an alert saying, "Hey, the rate sheet has been updated and it's
Okay.
worse." So from my perspective, my side, it does buy me a little bit more time because I can see what the day is bringing and think, okay, this is tomorrow. We're going to see the results from this on our rate sheet. So if it's looking bad today, hey, we might want to lock in today because our rates have not shown what's going to be showing tomorrow. So
Yeah.
let's jump on this. But ultimately, I try to just educate people on what it looks like, what I think could happen. Like if there's some news out there that says, hey, we might be hitting a rally. The jobs report that's supposed to be coming out is going to look really bad or whatever. I'm going to
Uh-huh.
say, I think it's worth just kind of let's ride it out here and see. But if it's the reverse, I'll say we got a pretty good deal right now. We might want to just lock it in because it does take typically, say, a couple weeks at least for there to be enough of an impact, right? Like it changes the price of the rates, but there has to be enough change in that for it to really make a big impact. So
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Is I don't think that like locking in from today to tomorrow, unless barring anything crazy happening, it's not gonna it's not gonna change your monthly outgo significantly one way or the other. Correct? Like,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. It's
So
going to be very minimal. It's not till we see
yeah,
those massive movers where you're
the
like,
big
oh no,
ones.
we
Yeah,
just lost a quarter of a point in rate.
for sure.
'Cause it's usually a like an eighth of a percent in fee or quarter of a percent in fee, which might not really change your rate. I mean, it's not gonna change your rate at all. It's just gonna change the cost for your rate a little bit. So
Mm,
not until we get
okay.
multiples of those to where it's like, okay, now getting 6%, say 6% was what we call par, which is no buy down cost,
Yeah,
and we have 3 or 4 bad days in a row, and now 6% costs you a half a point. So now if you wanna go to par with no buy down, you have to go to 6.125. So that's when there's enough impact that's happened to where it's like, okay, you can't get that same rate for no cost or little cost.
yeah.
Now we have to bump up to 6.125 for you to be in that same situation.
You're getting into the nerd talk, man. I don't
I
like
know.
you're like 1.25 par, all this stuff. I'm
I
like,
know.
okay.
I
I would say I'd be the
float if you
person that's
want
be
to,
like,
lock
what
if you
would you
want.
do? Like, that's exactly what I would say is, what would you do?
Yeah. I'd say, "You know what, Joe? I gotcha, okay?
But I would
This."
say, if you ask me, I'd say lock it because it's like they're good rates. Like if you're in the market and you can afford what you can afford, this rates it could fluctuate a little bit, but I don't see it fluctuating in the next week or
No.
two, right?
No.
So to an
I don't
extent, that's going to be like, dang, we should have waited.
yeah.
Um, especially as you get close to 6, I think. But
Mhm.
um,
And to that, yeah, it's like, if that does happen, it's not like anybody was expecting it or
yeah,
predicting
it'd
it,
be an
'cause
unknown.
if we'd
Yeah,
heard that, we'd
complete
wait, but
unknown.
it's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
they get
Well,
worse
I
a lot
think
quicker than
like
they get better.
I want to kind of I'm gonna tease our podcast. I'm not giving anyone any more information on what we were planning on talking about.
I like it.
If you want, Cody and I are gonna talk about the Trump stuff, what President Trump has, declared, and what that means for the real estate market, what it could mean for the lending market and the real estate world. We're gonna talk about you're in the new year, kind of different programs that buyers need to be asking their lender about, what's going to affect their outgo monthly on a mortgage, and kind of where they can work with different lenders. They're offering different options on how to purchase a house in 2026. And I will go over kind of the similar stuff on the real estate side of what we are advising buyers right now in 2026 to offer, whether that's price change, closing cost credit, combination of both, and kind of what's working now, because things change each month, correct? And we just don't
Mhm.
know. Some offers that worked this month may not work next month. So, anyways, if you want to know more and dive deeper into that with Cody and I, we are going to be on our podcast on Friday and going over that stuff in depth, right?
That's right. Heck yeah.
So we were going to go over a little bit today, but now it's the teaser. You got to go over to Venture with Joe and Cody on Apple, Spotify, all the big ones, iHeartRadio. What else are we on? I think those are the big ones.
Yeah.
YouTube. You can watch us on
Yeah.
YouTube. And so, anyways, that's the deal. So head over to Venture with Joe and Cody, subscribe to our stuff. You'll be able to stay in the loop with all the real estate world and the lending world. We're not necessarily experts, but we kind of keep you up to date with real estate, all things real estate, and some of our personal life too. So if you
Yeah.
like staying
You
involved in
never know
that
where
too,
we're gonna go.
it's so funny because we kind of have tentative plans in that podcast to like go a certain route, and then you and I just kind of end and being like, "Meh, that is not where we were planning on
Nope.
going," but that's what kind of makes it fun. So,
Yep. Exactly.
what else do we have? What else was I going to say about that? I think that's it.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I think that sounded pretty good.
Okay, man. Well, have a good weekend.
Yeah, you
We'll
too.
see you on the podcast on Friday. And yeah, I guess that's it.
Yeah.
It's
Sounds
like
good.
a non eventful ending.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
that's sometimes that's what's needed.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll talk next week, man.
All right, man.